The Eastern Sierra News brought to you by
T-Bar Social Club, June Lake's newest gathering place, offering June pie, New York-style pizza, and year-round entertainment in a warm, welcoming atmosphere. See you in the Loop.
All right, Mule Days upon us, Memorial Day weekend. Thousands of people visiting here in the Eastern Sierra. Town of Mammoth Lakes packed, all sorts of great festivities, including the Mammoth Lakes Film Festival, not to mention the Mule Days celebration in Bishop. Deb Murphy writes that locals know the history. The 1968 packing season got a late start due to a lot of leftover snow. Not a good thing for Sierra packers. One solution was a splashy opening of the 1969 season with a mule show. Now that initial effort was a one-day affair followed by a fairly traditional format. Every year it grew. 50 years later, Mule Days, now a 6-day party. A celebration of all things mule. Deb Murphy writes the event is now put on by second and third generations of the packers involved in the inaugural event, with enough newcomers to guarantee another 50 years. This year's celebration should break records in attendance. Now, according to Tammy Mandrell, executive director, all the big evening shows have been sold out for weeks, but entry to the fairgrounds, all 21 clinics, access to vendors, concerts on the Burger Solar Electric stage, 3 days of I Want to Be a Packer program designed for the kids, or just walking around to check out the mules. That's all free. Now, the ultimate big hitch, Bob Tanner's 20 Mule team, will be available for a meet and greet at the end of the Sunday afternoon show. Now, Deb writes that one thing mules and their owners have that horse people lack is a sense of humor. Oh, really, Deb? And that's what makes Mule Day special, even for folks who still have to ask what combination mating equines produce a mule. Deb's full story is on sierrawave.net. A reminder, chairs, ropes, chains, etc. to save spots for the Mule Days parade, Saturday, 10 o'clock start. You cannot put those chairs or ropes out until the day of the parade on Saturday. Caltrans will confiscate them, put them in their office, but again, just wait till Saturday to put out your chairs and your ropes. Well, Deb Murphy filed this report saying you've got to give Premium Energy Company, LLC, credit for trying. In the Walnut Company's second amendment to its application for a permit to study the feasibility of a closed-loop hydro power project in the Eastern Sierra, Premium now has abandoned 3 reservoirs in or near the John Muir Wilderness. The upper part of the hydro loop is now proposed for Silver Canyon in the White Mountains. Now, the latest amendment to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission was dated May 19th. Mono County had to scramble to record its objections in time for its Board of Supervisors discussion this week. A member of Inyo County Board of Supervisors became aware of the latest iteration just prior to the meeting on the same day. Now, the pipes carrying the water up and down the Whites will now be buried. The lower reservoirs will be in the Owens River Gorge, where the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power also has power-related infrastructure. Pipes from the reservoirs merge into one that crosses Fish Slough, home to the endangered pupfish, before it rises to the White Mountain reservoirs between 7,715 and 8,855 feet above sea level. Now, the project conjures up an image of engineers sitting in their walnut offices with the help of an aerial map of the Eastern Sierra, throwing ideas at the wall to see what sticks. Deb Murphy continues that Premium seems to have had little, if any, contact with any agencies involved. LADWP's Public Information Office confirmed that the department has had no contact from Premium. Senior Assistant General Manager for Water Systems, Richard Harrisick, reached out to them but never heard back. Mono County requested a meeting with Premium Energy's principals but did not hear back. Said Mono Supervisor Fred Stump, whose district includes the Owens Gorge, there's not much due diligence. They're not analyzing the locations. Stump pointed out that the court order that protects fish in the gorge and the failure of the LADWP penstock in the 1990s says we have legitimate concerns. Stump also questioned the economic feasibility of the massive project, citing the cost of dealing with environmental issues, noting that Digital 395 budgeted $2.5 million for environmental work. They ended up spending $21 million. Deb's full story, and also an informative piece on the spring runoff forecast, how they predict those, posted on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, 2 felony arrests recently. Monday night at 8:50, Inyo County Sheriff's deputies, along with units from the Bishop Police Department, California Highway Patrol, responded to a campsite east of the Canal Road in Bishop. This was the report of a stabbing. The victim had multiple stab wounds and was transported to Northern Inyo Hospital for treatment and later released. The suspect fled the scene prior to law enforcement arrival. An investigator from MINT, the Major Investigations and Narcotics Team, responded to assist with the investigation. Now, Inyo County Sheriff's deputies contacted witnesses who identified Armando Zavala as the suspect. Zavala was later taken into custody without incident at the scene after he returned to the campsite. Zavala was being held at the Inyo County Jail in Independence on charges of attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon other than a firearm, criminal threats, and obstruction and/or delay of a public officer, with bail set $500,000. Last Thursday, Mono County District Attorney investigators, with the assistance of Mammoth Lakes Police Department, arrested Jorge Romero Espedia, 19 felony charges, including alleged sexual acts with minors and providing methamphetamine to minors. He was in custody, bail set at $500,000. Now, the news release from the Mono DA's office said there is reason to believe there may be other victims. If you know something about this case, with information concerning Espedia and potential sex acts with minors or furnishing illegal drugs to minors, you're asked to contact Mono County District Attorney Chief Investigator Chris Callanan at 760-858-2127. Well, a dramatic search and rescue by Mono County Search and Rescue Team members over the weekend. Now, we will note we've posted the full account, some pictures of the mission on our website, sierrawave.net. Here's a brief synopsis. A 29-year-old man from San Francisco had fallen while skiing in the West Couillard Gully on the Incredible Hulk in the Hoover Wilderness. Party of 3 had hiked in from Mono Village, waded across Robinson Creek, which, as expected for springtime, was running fast and cold, and continued up Little Slide Canyon. About 30 minutes after crossing the creek, they hit the snow line, put on their skis and skins, and continued up the canyon. Now, on the descent, one of the hikers fell about 3/4 height, tumbled down, and slid through the couloir. And when the fall ended, found he had multiple left leg fractures, notably an open tib fib with considerable bone exposed. That occurred at approximately 2 p.m. Mono County Search and Rescue Team was called out at 7:37, sent 3 teams to the field, totaling 18 personnel to respond to the incident site. Obviously, weather was cold, field teams were gathering gear, it began to snow. All of the teams departed well after dark, just 3 miles on the trail and just past the wilderness boundary. Boy, the field teams left the trail and found the downed tree crossing. Approximately 2 a.m., Mono County Search and Rescue Team members located the injured skier in moderate snowfall. Now, the injured party was packaged in a rescue stretcher and lowered many rope planks down the steep snowfields in Little Slide Canyon. The sked litter lowered approximately 800 feet via anchored belays and then carried and dragged over the snow to the snow line. Multiple belays were built to safeguard the team and the subject as they continued the sketchy descent. Now, the litter haul team waded the icy cold Robinson Creek and descended the Barney Lake Trail back to the rescue base near Mono Village. Mono County paramedic crew met the field team, and the patient was transferred to the medics. Great job there by Mono County Search and Rescue Team members, and Mono County Sheriff Ingrid Braun penned a nice report on that mission. It is, again, on sierrawave.net. Well, this is a tough one. I worked for the great man back in the 80s, and one of the community members who did a whole lot for the Eastern Sierra has passed away. Roger Guffey died on May 17th, one day before his 76th birthday. Now, if you lived in Mammoth in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, chances are pretty good you worked for Roger at one of his many restaurants. And if you didn't work for him, which was a pleasure, I might add, you sure as heck ate at one of his establishments, such as the Tiger Bar, Perry's Italian Cafe, and Grumpy's. Roger Guffey is survived by his wife, Carol Guffey, daughter, Megan Guffey, son, Ryan Naranjo, granddaughter, Raina Naranjo, and his brother, Ron Guffey. Megan penned a beautiful obit for her father, writing, "As I think back on my dad's life and our life as a family, I couldn't have been more blessed. He was truly an amazing man. He was selfless, put others first, always serving and supporting others, especially his wife." Again, see the obituary on our website, sierrawave.net. Public graveside service will be held Saturday, June 8th, noon, at the East Line Street Cemetery. In lieu of flowers and gifts, Roger would like it if you make a donation in loving memory to Chamber Music Unbound or Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra in memory and honor of Roger Guffey.